I just found out how to hear from God every single time. This is absolutely insane. So listen to this. Yesterday I was on a walk and I was praying for some like confirmations on some things. And I was like, God, if you want me to do this, make the leaves blow a certain way. And then the leaves didn't blow, but then if I looked farther ahead, I saw a bunch of leaves blowing. So I'm like, wait, well, I was so confused. And I know God isn't a God of confusion. This is where it gets kind of crazy, and I wrote it in my notes. So listen to this. As I was trying to hear God's voice, I felt confusion, and I know God is not a God of confusion. I immediately felt a question prompting me. What is your fear? I kind of assumed that that was the Lord. So I said, God, if I'm honest, my fear is that if I don't do the right thing I'm supposed to do, I'm afraid that I'll hear, depart from me, I never knew you, if I stand before you. I immediately felt a look of disgust from the Father and Jesus, and I heard them both say, who taught you that? I replied and I said, theologians and Bible scholars on social media. And then I felt Jesus say, Edgar, I am not like that. I am loving, I am kind, I am gentle. Though there will be a time for me to release my judgment on the wicked, that time is not now. And stop believing you will die at an unappointed time. So the revelation is, don't try to hear from God and try and say, God, do this, God, do that, God, make this. Like, start emptying your mind so that you make room for his still small voice to speak. And when I got that revelation that the best way to hear from God is to empty your mind, I came across this podcast that said this.
What a lot of Christians don't understand, this is kind of breaking from the main point, but I'll get back around to it, is we've been trained to do all of our Christianity out of our soul, which is heavily limited when it comes to spiritual encounter. It's much more labor intensive to bring the soul into a spiritual encounter. But when the soul learns to get out of the way and the person leans into the conscious mind of their human spirit, the spirit world is like right there, just like Jesus described the kingdom as a hand. It's right there.
What he's saying is our soul and our flesh needs to basically move out of the way and make room for our spirit to be positioned to hear directly from God. And ever since I got that revelation this past week, God has spoken to me about 8 or 9 different things. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I thought it was interesting.